Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gypsy Poet Radio here on blogtalkradio.com/GypsyPoet. I am the Gypsy Poet, Sophia E. Deganis, and co-hosting with me aboard is none other than the mesmerizing, wonderful, and absolutely magical Girl George. Yes, people, say it with me, Girl George. And she brought a wonderful and wonderful, wonderful guest by the name of Ivan Ulz. What a joy this is going to be. I can't wait to hear his story and more. Cue the music, George.
I'm Ivan, the ice cream man. Everybody watch out for me. You give me a nickel, I'll give you a popsicle. If you turn me out, I'll give you one free. Because I am your ice cream man. Ivan, the ice cream man. Everybody watch out for me. Some call me Fudgy Man, some call me Choo-Choo Man, some call me Popsicle Mister. I got strawberry chocolate dripping from my fingers. All the girls want to be my sister. 'Cause I am your ice cream man. I am the ice cream man. Wow, wow, wow. Every boy's dream is to hustle ice cream, but my dream came true. I drive a little truck, and if I had a little luck, I would even make $1 or $2 off. But I want so much to be your ice cream man. In the summertime, ringing my bell, ring-a-ding-a-dong-ding, and the children yell. I may not live in a big hotel, but I wouldn't care if the whole world fell. I am still your ice cream man. I've been the ice cream man. Everybody watch out for me. 'Cause I'm the all-American boy made good. I'm the hero on every block in town. All the moms and the pops and even the cops all know far better than to push me around. Summer is a bummer, but I got to plan. I've been the ice cream man. Everybody watch out, everybody look out, everybody freak out for me. Ring-a-ding-a-dong-ding-dong, ding-a-dong-ding-dong, ding-a-dong, 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 ding-a-dong.
Okay, that's Ivan Ulz, my old friend from North.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long time, 1970s, that's how many years? And that's 5 years after I knew you in the first place.
That was a great song. I loved that song. I always loved that song.
Thank you.
Were you at the Coffee and Confusion? You ran the Coffee and Confusion open mic?
I did, through a total fluke. I mean, Gaylord, who ran the place, owed somebody some money, so he sold me one night a week, 2 nights a week maybe, and that's how I got it. He needed
what
some
year
money.
Was that?
1965.
65. Were you there when I first walked in and played there? Because I
Honey,
played
you
the
are
first
as
time
memorable
with
to
that
me as the night Steve Martin walked in there and played. Steve Martin came in. He wrote about it in his book, only he misspelled my name Ultz, so I didn't get the due I should have gotten for that. But, yeah,
you played at
I
the
remember
Coffee
very well.
Infusion?
I just remember you came in and stopped the place, actually, because you were a little different than
Well, I've been playing like
folksy
3
crowd.
days, and I knew 3 chords, and I knew Tambourine Man. I hung out at the Coffee Gallery because I was a topless dancer over on Broadway.
You sure were.
So anyhow, I brought my guitar that I'd only been playing 3 days, and somebody from the Coffee Infusion, I don't know if it was you, but somebody that ran the open mic said, come on over, we need somebody to open it. I said, I only know one song. I've only been playing 3 days. It's all, we don't care. That's all we need is one song. So I went over there and did Tambourine Man, and that was the first time I ever played guitar on stage, was at the Coffee Infusion. Was that you?
That was the place to do it. That was the place to play guitar for the first time. Certainly my first paid gig was there maybe a couple of years earlier in 1963. I remember vividly. It was a great place. It was, in fact, I remember some guy had one of those those machine guns that shot ping pong balls. And he shot ping pong balls at me, which was a good way to get inducted into the folk scene there.
Well, Al's Bar, they threw cups at you if they didn't like you. So, you had to be pretty good. But for some reason, they liked me at the Coffee Infusion, even though I didn't know how to play. I was a topless dancer, so if I could go up there naked, I could go up there and sing,
And you were very. Now, as I recall, they kind of had a rigged contest. You were sort of a regular amateur topless dancer,
no,
right?
No. The at the Peppermint Tree, which held like 500 people, it was a big place. They had a 8-piece band, and they had a rigged contest. It was fake.
I never actually
saw you. We all worked
you.
It was called the Amateur Topless Contest, and I ran the thing. I hired the girls and taught them how to look like they were just walked off the street. And,
that's right.
But we all worked there. We all worked there.
You know, I wrote a song for. Do you remember Batwoman?
Batwoman, yeah. Her husband.
I wrote a song for her
that
for some reason, and I also wrote one about Carol Doda that was on TV when she decided she was retiring because she wanted to go find herself.
She tried to be a singer for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And then last time I heard she had a lingerie store somewhere in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think she's
still alive.
That's what I heard.
It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Silicone
and
they
as
shot
Allison said, if you live, your time will come, and that's what I go by. You go by. We all go by. All of us who are still alive from that, I've seen.
So you were on TV with Michael Douglas?
Oh shit, Mike Douglas, not Michael. Mike Douglas.
That's what I meant.
I was working for but this is kind of. I got his contract with Rod McEwen to write songs and sing and make an album, and so I don't know. I just kind of wormed my way. He was that's it. He was a co-host. They used to have co-hosts for the week, and he took me along with him, and I sang that. We got it. It hasn't gone on YouTube yet for reasons that are mine and mine alone. But I sang Ivan the Ice Cream Man, and I sang Kid Columbus. And Mike Douglas, he thought, turn me out, I'll give you one free. It was the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his life. So, yes.
Yeah, that was real funny. How about Hoyt Axton? How'd you meet him?
Him, I worked for. In fact, when I only knew 3 chords on the guitar, a friend of mine said, here, this is what you should do with your life. Be like Hoyt Axton. And I learned Greenback Dollar, and I learned how to, do the thing that he does. and I really, in fact, one time I got myself booked in. You can actually go to YouTube, and if you say Hoyt Axton, Ivan Ulz, Skip Westner, there's a 10-minute interview where Hoyt tells about how I went to Sacramento and said I was Hoyt Axton and got a gig for a weekend one time. And that's Hoyt telling the story.
Well, there's also a story about you and Wavy Gravy getting beat up, and
that's the same guy. Yeah, that's the same. The night that I met Hoyt, he was giving Wavy a ride home, and I was in another car and following him, and these toughs, I guess you call them, these mean guys got out and started wailing on Wavy Gravy. I don't fight ever under any circumstances, but Hoyt got out like King Kong, was throwing everybody over his shoulders and stuff. So. And then he had, that's when he found out I was a conscientious objector, and he still liked me, even though Hoyt likes to, I gave him as a reference when the FBI was checking me out to be a conscientious objector because he said, well, I was a coward, but I love him, man, that kind of thing. So.
What about this song? How did you go about doing this song?
Which one?
I lost my mind, I lost my heart when I saw her on the screen, when she sang. My heart really skipped a beat, and when I heard her singing, I flipped right off of my feet.
How about that one?
I'm so glad you asked. That's the first song I ever wrote, and I wrote it for love. I saw the movie Whistle Down the Wind, which has made an impression upon me 50 years later to this day. It's a movie about whatever it's about. You can see the movie Whistle Down the Wind and put 2 and 2 together that I was raised in a nursery school. I didn't know that I loved children until I saw that movie, and it transformed me completely. So I wrote this song.
You were raised in nursery school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was.
My mother and father owned a nursery school where I lived until I was 18 and was able to leave.
Wow.
But I want to make this point. What happened though was. So I saw the movie, and I said, I got to meet Haley Mills. And so I wrote the song, and the 4 Preps, if you remember them, 26 miles across the sea.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, well, they used to come around to high schools and look for young boys with pompadour hairs and say, hey, fella, we're going to make a star out of you. So they came, we recorded the song. It didn't do anything, but some weeks later, they came out with a song called A Letter to the Beatles, exactly the same song, only they took Beatles instead of Haley. It got up to number 86 on the charts because they took too many bars of I Want to Hold Your Hand. You can find this all over YouTube. And anyway, that was the first time I got screwed in the music business, and I just had to come back for more, so I kept on writing songs.
They steal from me all the time. Somebody stole the whole last verse of Everybody's Crazy About Me. They didn't do the chorus. They took the whole last verse about, sell your soul for what you think you need. Some call it survival, some call it greed. They took the whole verse, and I think it was Coldplay or something like that. My daughter heard it on the radio, and she says, I hated that song. I couldn't understand what she hates my songs. And then she said, I listened to it, and they've got your whole verse in there.
Jimmy Webb, who, in my opinion, has had at least more effect upon me than Bob Dylan or anybody else, has one line of song where he says, they got ways to make you feel no good. And that, to me, describes the music business perfectly, to a T. They got ways to do it. They steal your stuff. They mess with your stuff. They do, they got ways to make you feel no good. And I know that you've been, we've been in this for a long time, and you just get to accept it as part of the deal.
Well, nowadays with Facebook and YouTube and everything, you can put out your own music, and hell was a record company. You just do it.
That's right.
Because they're just going to screw you anyway. They're going to take all the money. Even if you sell 1 million records, they're going to take it all.
That's right. But we just wanted to be icons anyway, didn't we, George?
Yeah,
that's what we really wanted to be.
There.
And we're doing okay, I would say, after all these years,
And we're still out there. Whether they
that's
like
right.
it or not.
People revere you, and I go, hey, that's George, man. I knew her when we were both like in our early 20s, I do believe, and it's pretty amazing. You're right.
Well, my audience is always the same age. They're all like 21 to 30, and then they die off or get married or get famous or something. But they're all the same age because I'm always playing for the same audience, and there's always new kids coming up, artists, college kids, art students.
Yeah.
They like that, and they still like what I do because I still do punk, in your face. This is where it's at. And write new songs every week about whatever's happening. I don't write about love shit. I write about whatever is happening in the world.
I know. I mean, both of you certainly have a more, you were, a little softer, a little gentler back then, but you still cracked a mean whip, and now you've got it down to a science. And I'm saying,
softer. I was on the stage naked. That isn't quite soft.
Yeah, that's right.
I had a sword on my hip. That isn't what you call soft.
I did want to ask a few questions, Mr. Ulz.
Gypsy, thank you. You call me Ivan, please.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay, Ivan, I have a number of questions I want to ask you. First of all, I know that you run a radio program and that you also write children. Yes.
Thanks so much for asking. Yeah.
Yes.
Being raised in a nursery school, a lot of times I was the only child, but every day I'd come home from a junior high school, there were 40 children between 2 and 5 years old waiting to talk to me. I found that some of them I liked, some of them I didn't like, some of them were fun, some of them were gangsters in the making, but I talked to a lot of children that age. I also listened to a lot of children's records because there was nothing else to listen to. I listened to Woody Guthrie. I listened to Daffy Duck. It didn't matter to me. It was all kind of the same genre. And recently, a couple of years, or actually 15 years ago, I started on a low-power pirate station, and now we're getting some legitimacy to it. But I have this show called Treasure Ivan. Treasure Ivan, I took the name from John Lennon in his the first book in his own right. He's got a short story called Treasure Ivan. I read that and said, someday I'm going to be Treasure Ivan, and now I am. And what I do is I play these records from 30, 40, no, not even 30, 50, 60, 70 years ago and talk about them, and some of them are absolutely beautiful, and some of them are just scary as hell because they're so strange that they would inflict that upon children. TreasureIvan.com. You go there and you can listen to podcasts and you can look all over the place and you'll find something that suits your fancy or tickles your fancy, as we say. Thanks for asking me about that.
I wanted to because that's one of my many loves anyway is radio to begin with. So I really got curious about that. Yes,
me
I love
too.
Radio.
And somebody pointed out recently that people in radio really like each other. We're just fascinated with how it all got started and what we're doing. There's a book that you might look at find this by Stanley Elkin. It's a novel called The Dick Gibson Show. And I substitute the name Treasure Ivan for Dick Gibson. It says, when Treasure Ivan was a little boy, he was not Treasure Ivan. And he could pick up Omaha. He could pick up Detroit. He learned that with a careful surgical twist of the dial, he could get New Orleans, that kind of thing. Listening to radio and how television is such a death trap these days. And radio, I think, is going to save us all who have the ears to listen to it.
It's going to get exciting. As long as acts like you and me are around, I think it's going to perk up quite a bit.
You betcha, pal. That's right.
Yes. Yes, because it's like my thing is bringing back the golden age of radio into the 21st century. It's like I just want to bring back that sense of imagination and that sense
You're familiar with YesterdayUSA.com from Richardson, Texas, 24/7. That's all they do is play old radio shows. Plus they carry my show as well. And listen, you liked me on Treasure Island. I'll like you if you've got a Facebook. I'd love to like you because I can tell we're on the same radio page. And I'd love to talk to you more about it.
Yes. Another thing I wanted to ask you about is you are also a children's book writer because I write poetry. I write and publish my poetry, and I post my poetry on the on Facebook and everywhere else I can find. But what I wanted to get to is you write children's books, which I find absolutely fascinating.
I don't. I really don't.
You don't?
I wrote a song that became a children's book.
There we go.
That's the deal. So I can say, I write children's books. But the fact is, I wrote a song called Fire Truck. It became a and what George was talking about, I put it on my own label, and it just gradually. If you go to my website, IvanUlz.com, you can see 4 examples of children on YouTube, all of them under the age of 2, who sing this song because it speaks to them so directly. It's a very, if I've learned to do anything in life, it's to think like a 3-year-old. I can do it, Not by choice, but I can do it. I say, I want it now. Give me. And so... Fire truck, I want to ride on a fire truck. Fire truck, I want to ride on a fire truck. I want to sleep in the fire station. Wake me up when the fire bell rings. I'm gonna put on my hat, put on my coat, put on my boots. I'm gonna slide down the pole. Then I'm gonna get into my fire truck. I wanna ride on a fire truck.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah.
That is precious because
it's infectious. It's like I have awakened a couple nights singing it myself. I got the idea when I was in New York. I was working in a nursery school because what else can I do? And Meryl Streep was one of the mothers in the school, and she said that I asked her, I said, how come these kids, particularly her kid, how come they're so obsessed with fire trucks? And she said, well, I think, she said that firefighters are the only real heroes that they see in this city. Police are not the same deal, but firefighters, just watching them shop for groceries is a real swaggering kind of, admirable trip. So that was it. I wrote that down. I did it in about an hour. It's got 4.5 million hits on YouTube now, and we're going to be. The book is going to come out again. It came out with Scholastic, who I would say, if you want to write children's books, stay away from Scholastic, and Walt Disney too, because they're exploiters of the worst kind of way. But it did get the book around. It sold about 50 or 60,000 copies. We're coming in now with new illustrations that do not look like Cabbage Patch Kids, like the other one did. It's going to be much more realistic, and it'll come out in September. And so you just got to work this. I mean, I've had the song for 22 years, which means the kids that were singing it at first are, they're almost 30 now.
My grandkids that are 6 and 3 years old, the first time they heard that, they went to the park that day and were singing it. The 3-year-old was singing that song that day.
I mean, I've never been able to do it a second time, but, there's a friend of mine wrote a song called Good Things Take Time, and boy, that's the truth. That's the mantra. I mean, anything that's worth doing, just keep on holding by the horns.
About that. Good things take time sounds good.
Yeah. Did you remember Steve Wells, the singer? Songwriter?
Sort of.
Well, he remembers you. I know that. Anyway, he's written the song. It's
Everyone
pretty incredible.
remembers Girl George. Everybody remembers George.
You said it. That's right.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When you wear a sword, it's kind of hard to forget you.
Listen, kid, I got together with Steve Crosby last year. We hadn't seen each other in 20 years, and you were in the conversation 5 minutes after we got together.
Wow.
We used to be next-door neighbors.
I know. Well,
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, especially, I see most of your work gearing actually to children. I want to know, where else can we access your stuff? Because I happen to be a piano instructor, and the youngest that I start I start my children out at the age of 4. So now that I heard this song and I know that it's available, I would like to know where else I can actually find it. Is it on a recording besides YouTube?
Okay, first of all, you can go to my website, ivanulz.com, and for $10 you can get the fire truck, and you can get the musical adaptation of the book The Carrot Seed, if you're familiar with The Carrot Seed, which has been around since 1945. It's like I'm out of breath, but you can get it there. There are 7 different covers, which I never had that kind of luck when I was writing for adults. But there's 7 covers of the song already. You write to me. You can ask me. I mean, if you start looking for it, you'll find it. It's out there, definitely.
Yes, definitely do that because.
And there's a good version of it on YouTube that I like, which is called "Fire Truck with Village Kids," and that's me singing it with a group of rich kids back in New York. I had one song. I wrote for adults for a long, long time. Then I wrote this song with Lowell George. You know Lowell George, Little Feat? Well, he was the leader of Little Feat. And we wrote this song, and I actually made a lot of money off the song, a whole lot of money. Lowell died of overdose of 10 million drugs, and I just said, I'm not going to say the F word, I said, I'm getting out of here. This is just too weird. So I came back to New York. That's when I started being a children's entertainer, because it's something I'd known how to do all my life. And
so you're from New York originally?
Huh?
Are you from New York?
I was not doing it originally. I mean, I just did it. I just did it. I did it in the school. When I started playing guitar, there were a bunch of kids. Well, what are you going to do? You start playing kid songs, right?
No, I mean, where are you from originally? Where were you raised yourself?
I was raised in Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley, North Hollywood, to be precise.
Oh, okay.
And
Hoy Jackson did some song you wrote about San
Fernando, which is a song about the suburbs and how much I hated growing up there. It was like... it's get out of your brass bed and thank God your husband is gone. You got a man to clean your swimming pool and walk the dogs and mow your front lawn. You're never going to leave San Fernando. It came out right after Eve of Destruction, and we were hoping, I hoped that everybody that had been so mean to me would kill themselves, turn it into a Jonestown. I was really a pretty angry guy at the time. No, I'm not.
She's Writing on Me that Hoy Jackson did?
Yeah, he did it. He was the first one. That's how we actually met. He heard that song and he liked it a lot. Yeah. That's really, stay in touch because we're going to be re-released. George didn't even know this, but a year before I made Ivan the Ice Cream Man, I made virtually the same album back east. But I freaked out and there was no money and I wanted to be, Rod McEwen and all that stuff. But we have a superior record that's going to be coming out this year also. With a better version of Ivan the Ice Cream Man. There's no doubt. I will email you, not email you, but I'll send you one this week, George, and you tell me.
No, email it to me. It's easier for me to access it.
I don't know how to do it, man. My wife, everything depends on her.
Have her do it.
Yeah, well, I'll have her do it. Yeah, right.
You don't have to use the mail anymore. You just stick it on here.
She did. She's the one who shot off all those pictures to you today. So if I'm real nice to her. She's like from a whole different generation than I am. She's like, between you and me, she's 38 years younger than I am. So,
My goodness.
Yeah. Well, we've been married for 12 years, so we're pretty legitimate now. I'm the only person I know with in-laws younger than I am.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
But we are a pillar of the community. I wouldn't even admit this a year after we were married, but now we're quite legitimate, and you cannot be in the room with us for 15 or 20 minutes and not understand how this happened.
But you've been married for 10 years, so it must have been working.
12, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly, sure. It is. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
What does she do? Does she write or anything?
She's going to be doing the publishing for the new book. She plays cello. She sews and knits and is leading knitting classes up here. She's a ballerina and a rocket scientist and a cowgirl. She's that kind of girl.
Cool.
Oh, awesome.
So obviously that's why I married her. That's what I mean, because we're on the same page, so to speak. Because we keep each other busy.
That's good. I really loved that song that you did, Grand Illusion. I'm going to play it at the end when I make the video. I'm not going to play it on the show itself, but when I make the video, it'll be at the end.
Now, that's
the song that I took to Nashville with me.
I have not even thought about in a long time. But you made me think, because the relationship I'm with now is not like that. But I think all of us have had, not all of us, but many of us have had.
I have.
That kind of relationship where the guy is outside freaking out and the girl's in the house freaking out. And they're pretending that they're not together. You know, that's what the song is about. Sunshine at her window, morning at his feet. She shivered in the bedroom. He froze up on the street. I don't have that kind of relationship anymore, so I don't really sing that kind of song anymore. But the fact is, yeah, thanks for reminding me, because it is a good song. It's a very good song.
Well, me and Stuart took that song to Nashville with us. That's the one we wanted to record, but Nashville wanted us to be country, which didn't work out too well. You know, Nashville.
You got to hear Heartache. Go for that sometime. You can look at Susie Boggess had a hit with it, big hit.
What song?
I had so much money I couldn't believe it. And it was just because we were, you know, I was unhappy for an hour with Lowell. So we wrote the song about how unhappy we were, and then we got a bunch of money. So then we were happy.
Awesome. Oh, my goodness. The joys of writing songs when you have that moment where
you write songs, Gypsy?
Yes, I know what you're talking about, because I kind of go through it all the time. Especially when I post my stuff on my page. Oh, my wall goes crazy.
Where is your page? How do I find you?
Oh, how do you find me? Okay, go to Facebook.com/GypsyPoetRadio.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yes.
You'll hear from me before the sun goes down.
Yes, exactly. Oh, absolutely. I think I already sent you a friend request. I'm already in your box.
Oh, well, all right. You're on. Okay, good.
Yes,
that's wonderful.
Awesome. Yes, I am absolutely thrilled that you had called into the show. My goodness, you have so much going on. You are one accomplished individual. Wow.
You know, I lived for 30 years in New York, and I've been in this town now. There's 100 people in this town, a very small town, half a mile from the ocean. You know, I mean, it's just everything kind of came true, and so we're able to really, I don't know, just do living the dream that we've been talking about for so long.
So where are you at? You're like in Central California now, or
Central Coast. The name of the town is Halcyon, Halcyon, which means the water is so still that the kingfisher bird can come down and lay her eggs. It's the whole deal. You look up Halcyon and you'll say, what the hell's he doing? It's a town, it's a community, there's a religion involved, and, you know, it's just, we're tree huggers, basically. A town full of tree huggers, I would say.
That's great.
It's serene and it's happy, and everybody knows me, and I don't scare anybody anymore. And George knows what I mean by that, because, you know, oh boy, North Beach, it was kind of a competition to see who could be the scariest, you know.
I scare everybody still. I go out of my way.
Yeah, precisely. And here everybody knows me, the babies know me, the old women know me, and we're able to come and go as we please. And that's my dream come true, you know, not to be hassled anymore. Yeah.
Wow.
You found your nirvana. Do you have anything to plug? We're ending in about 3 minutes.
God almighty, I've done okay. TreasureIvan.com. Go there. Be my friend. That means everything to me. Ivan Ulz, whatever. If you want some CDs, you could find them on IvanUlz.com, and just write to me. Write to me. I always write back. That's my, my motto.
That's awesome. Always awesome. Okay. Oh, my gosh. What a wonderful, amazing, and magical show this was on Gypsy Poet Radio. Holy cow. Wow.
Holy cow.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Gypsy. Thank you, George. I'm going to see you in person before this year's over. I know that.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Please check out TreasureIvan.com. Please check out IvanUlz.com for all things Ivan Ulz. Please. He is amazing, and he had a wonderful story to share with us this afternoon here on GPR, on BTR. And, of course, Girl George, always a pleasure. You rock the house every single time, and your giggle just is infectious, okay?
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, and she's infectious and fun. And Ivan, I'm definitely going to stay in touch with you, and I hope everyone listening out there on GPR, please enjoy the show this afternoon. Go check out everything Ivan Ulz. Google him, please.
Google him. He goes all kinds of places. Yeah. That's right.
Yes. Google him. He's everywhere. Oh, my goodness. So I'm signing off saying I am Sophia E. DeGanis, the Gypsy Poet, on GPR from BTR, and, of course, to Girl George. Say it with me, people. Girl George. She is magic. She is magic. She is miracles. She is everything in between. I'm signing off now, saying to everyone and to my guests and to my friend Girl George, saying adio for now.
All right. That's Vidania. Bye-bye.
Sunshine at her window, morning at his feet. As she shivered in the bedroom, as he froze upon the street, with each one waiting for the crown, going up, coming down, and drawing conclusions, painting conclusions. Oh, but wasn't it a grand illusion? Starting on her diet, finished from his fast. So she crawled into the future, so he stumbled from the past. With every image of the dawn, going off, coming on, and drawing conclusions, painting conclusions. Ah, but wasn't it a grand illusion? Poster on her ceiling, rainbow in his sky. As she closed another curtain, as he opened one more eye, with every symbol understood, going bad, coming good, and drawing conclusions, painting conclusions. Ah, but wasn't it a grand illusion? Whoa, now wasn't it a grand illusion? Whoa, wasn't it a grand illusion? I know, a grand illusion. Whoa.